Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing today? Did you have a good weekend, students? Good evening. Great to hear. So before we dive into today's lesson, let me quickly recap what we covered last week. So I still remember, and you should also remember that we covered and we discussed different writing styles and reading comprehension strategies in a fable. Am I right? Yes. Okay, good. Today's lesson will continue building on those skills again with a focus on reading and writing techniques in a fable. We'll explore how to develop more engaging and thoughtful writing. Okay, so now before we start the lesson, look at the picture carefully. What can you see, dear students? What can you see in the picture and try to relate it with the title as well? Yeah, there is an ant. Some more, there's an ant, there's a grasshopper. Can anyone let me know what do you think is a personality of an ant and of a grasshopper? Okay, background that looks like spring, grasshopper. Okay. Ant is working, yes, correct. How about the grasshopper? Ants are loyal, maybe. Okay. Now now that you have identified the picture, I have a very interesting question for you all. So now I want you to imagine you suddenly had all the free time in the world. Okay, that you're super free. Okay, you have nothing to do. Okay, now what would you choose to do? Would you like to work hard and be productive, or would you relax and enjoy your life? Come, give me a creative answer. Try to think something creative. Think out of the box. Relax and enjoy life. If need to pay bills, do part-time. If no bills to pay, sleep and learn new stuff. Very interesting answer, Shukor. I think not everyone could have think something like this. Ishak, I'm waiting for your answer. I can see that you're typing. Okay, a sweet spot between the two, having all time for joyful sounds nice. It is, but need purpose, I think. Yes, of course. If you really want to feel relaxed and to work hard, it's actually based on the individual. Okay, if you have your option for it, you will go for it. Okay, if you get what I mean. Okay, yes, to leave things better than we found them, something like that. Yes, correct. Okay, so let's move to the next part. Okay, I'll pass it to Pratibha now. Miss Pratibha, your mic.
Oops, sorry. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Okay, it's good to meet you all again. Am I audible? Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, okay. So let's start with today's lesson. So before we start with today's lesson, let's do a small go through about what will be today's lesson about. Okay, so today's learning outcome, students will need to understand the comprehension and answer the comprehension questions correctly, and the more you answer correctly, the better. So the purpose of today's lesson is to make sure you understand the comprehension text, and next you will be able to write at least three or more grammatical correct sentences that is aligned with the moral value of the fable that you will be reading today. So, first thing, we are going to understand the comprehension text. Next, we are going to identify the theme and the moral value of the fable. Then, we are going to construct our own grammatically correct sentences that is aligned with the moral values. Next, you are also going to demonstrate how your understanding, how well do you understand the comprehension text by providing many real life situations, same similar to just now, that you all try to relate your own lifestyle with the current questions being asked, right? So that is what we are going to practice today as well. Okay, next slide. Moving on. Okay, so basically today's lesson, we are going to explore a fable, okay, that teaches us everything about life, hard work. What is hard work? What are the moral values that a human being should follow in his life, and the consequences of choices that we are making in our daily life? So let's explore the fable in further. Next slide. Okay, so what do you all think of the animals here? Okay, what is the grasshopper doing? What are the ants doing? How do they look like? Okay, I think I have going through an technical issue. I cannot read your messages. Can anyone say it out loud? I can't read your chat. I can't read the chat box.
Grasshopper finding it himself to enjoy the rain.
Okay, grasshopper is finding himself enjoying the rain. Very good. Next, how about the ant? Anyone? Shukur?
The ant is working in a team.
The ants are working in a team. Great. Okay, yes. And what else? Anything else? Anything interesting? I can just see what you're trying to say, but anything interesting that you can find from there?
The grasshopper is entertaining the ants while they're working.
Okay, so the grasshopper is entertaining the ants while they are working. Okay, so both of them getting benefit of it. Okay, great. Thank you so much. So let's move on. So I believe you all have a rough idea of what we are going to explore today. The topic of the fable today that we are going to learn is the ant and the grasshopper. It's a very famous fable around the world. Okay, next slide. Okay, here we have the fable, and you will be given 3 minutes to read the passage. So, read the passage calmly and try to understand the comprehension text, while you will also need to find the meaning of the vocabulary of the highlighted words in the comprehension text, because you might be using these words in your upcoming task in the lesson. Okay? Okay, great. So you can start reading now. Okay, you all have 1 more minute left to complete reading the text. And remember, you will need to pay more attention on the highlighted words. Okay, so have you all done reading the passage? Anyone can unmute your mic and let me
Yes.
know? Okay, great. So let's move on to the next agenda of the lesson. And I pass this to teacher Shuhada.
Hello everyone, I am teacher Shuhada. Next slide please. Okay, so you have been revealed to the passage during teacher Pratibha session. So for my part, we are going to answer some questions based on what you have read during the teacher Pratibha session. So let's start with some comprehension questions to check your understanding of the story. Okay, so these are multiple choice questions and you will be given 2 minutes to answer. You just need to type your answer on the chat box. You may start now. Look like some of you have given your answers in the chat box. Good job, everyone. Now let's discuss the answer. Next slide, please. And for the first question, the grasshopper loved music, so he took his violin with him and played it in the park. Second question, the ant was carrying a heavy piece of corn. Third question, the grasshopper asked the ant to take a break and sing along with him. Four, what does the word yell mean? So the word yell, it means to shout loudly. And the last question, what does the word hungry mean? So the word hungry, it means feeling a need to eat food. Next slide. So now let's move on to sentence formation. I want you to reflect on the moral value in the story and answer the following 2 questions. First question, why is it important to be hardworking like the ant? Second question, what happens if we only have fun and don't prepare for the future? Next slide. All right, so I want you to write one sentence for each question. This is the example of sentence. Try to use some of the vocabulary you practiced earlier. Take 7 minutes to write your sentences. And please put your answer in the chat box. Yes, students, you may start now. I see some of you guys are typing your answer. I'm waiting. Teacher Farhan, can you move the slide to the passage so the students can see the vocabulary? Thank you. I've seen Punes have answered to question 1. Being hardworking allows us to avoid feeling hungry when times are difficult. For question 2, without preparation, we may end up hungry and unable to find what we need. I've seen that you use the word hungry. Ishaq, you say to see a wheel through one needs the discipline to see their work through. Or how can someone expect for wonderful happenings if they do not put in the work? For second, you said we will be caught in a problem that never should have been a problem in the first place if we only prepared ahead in time. But we did not, and no amount of yelling can spare us that. Thus, there is a time for work and time for play. I like your answer, Isa. Good job. Shira Sabrina, you said for the first question, working hard and carrying heavy loads now means we can enjoy life later without worrying. Second, if we did not work hard now, means we might have to yell for help later. Yes, true. But others may not able to assist us. Thank you, Sabrina, for your answer. Ashwina, Shukor, I'm still waiting for your answer. It's all right. Take your time. Okay, so Shukor for question 1, so we can skip the struggle when things get tough. Good. Question 2, skipping work now means signing up for stress and struggle when things get tough later. Good job, Shukor. Okay, Ashwina. 1, ants prepare for the future by storing food for difficult times. Second, grasshopper didn't prepare food earlier, it will be a struggle. Thank you, students, for your answers. Okay, now let's discuss. I have seen the answer you put on the chat box, but I would like someone to share their answer to the class. I would call one of you. Wait, Sabrina, would you want to try?
Yes, teacher.
Can you
I
tell
just
me
need
your answer?
to read my answer, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So my answer for question number 1, working hard and carrying heavy loads now means we can enjoy life later without worrying. And my answer for question number 2, if we did not work hard, If we did not work hard now, means we might have to yell for help later, but others may not be able to assist us. That's all.
Thank you. Well done, Sabrina. I noticed you used the word heavy and yell from the highlighted vocab earlier. Well done, everyone. Your sentences shows me that you understand the moral of the story, which is it's important to be hardworking and prepare for the future. Great job using the vocab we learned today. I'm going to pass the next session to Teacher Farhan.
Hi students, can you hear me? Can you hear me and can you see the screen? Hi, loud and clear, sir. Yes, yes, I'm clear. Yes. Thank you for the responses. All right, so yes, I'm Teacher Farhan and I am responsible for the production stage of this lesson. So for this lesson, you will be answering a question that is shown on the screen to relate to real life scenario. So this activity will be done in a pair or group. We have 5 students. So one group will have 3 members and the other one will have 2 members. Uh, is it okay if I assign you guys to your specific group? All right. Okay. I will send. Okay. So group 1 and group 2. Give me a moment, yeah. All right, can you see the list for group 1 and group 2? Apologies if the formatting a little bit messy, but basically for group 1 we will have Shukur, Ashwina and Punes, and for group 2 we will have Ishak and Sabrina. All right, so again, based on the question that is shown on the screen, based on the moral value from the fable, how can we apply to real life and justify your answer? So basically, I need you to write down the moral value of the fable, and based on the moral value, how can we apply it to real life? And you need to provide your reason. Is that clear? We got yes from Ishak, yes from Ashwina. I see Shukor is typing. How do we discuss with each other? All right. So yeah, okay. So for this particular activity, again, you will be doing your part in a group. So whenever you share your answer in the chat box, I want you to start with group 1 or group 2 to indicate that you are contributing your answer to your designated group. So yeah, so perhaps what you can do is you can provide your answer for your group, and the next group members can further expand on that, or they can add another answer to support your previous input in the chat box. Is that clear? Oh, right. Okay. So make sure to type in group 1 or group 2 so the other students can see your chat in the chat box, yeah? So just to avoid confusion from among the students whenever they're sharing their messages. All right, all good? All right, so before we start, I guess I will provide an example to the question. So the moral value is time management, and based on the fable, we learn that time management is important, especially to put in the work today for what matters tomorrow, right? So we can do this by um, creating a daily plan for ourselves as a guideline to complete our tasks. And this is very relatable among students, because as students, we need, or you guys need to put or to commit to consistent revision. That is compulsory for exams. And um, other than examinations, you also need to dedicate adequate time to finish your assignments or schoolworks or homework, which are beneficial to reinforce your learning attainment. All right, so that's one example. Can we have students to go with their answer? I see someone is typing. Shukor is typing in the chat box. Just put in your answer from which group, moral value. Okay, we have one from Shukur, group 1. Shukur said emergency saving. The lesson applies to emergency saving. So instead of spending all our salary on fun or entertainment, we can set aside a percentage for emergencies. All right. So this way, when unexpected and expenses arise, we can handle them without too much stress. Okay. Otherwise, if we are forced to dip into our food budget, it leads to more compromises and added stress. Very good. Any input from group 2? So we have emergency saving. We can think, haven't started. All right, okay. Okay, it's like take your time. Perhaps you need to think about your answer, because you need to mention or state the moral value and what can be implemented to our real life scenario, and how can we do it, right? The reason, how can we do, and why should we do? Why is it important, right? So another input from group 1, especially from Sabrina. Sabrina, you're group 2, but it's okay. It's okay. Sabrina said, studying hard now so we can get a good job later. All right. This is especially important, right? For students, you need to put exceptional effort in your studies, right? So you can work on your desired goals, or of course your long-term career decision. It's okay, Shak, just put in your answer. It's okay. Just put in on your answer. If other group or other students want to put their answer just to further expand on our discussion, it will be great, because I want to see whether you can, whether you understand the, of course, the story of the fable and the moral value that we can learn and also adapt to our real life. All right, so from Ishak, we have investments. So work today for what you will need tomorrow. Yes, just the exact statement here under time management. The lesson applies saving funds, or in this case resources, as an investment is an expenditure that is also for our well-being. So perhaps the example is to further our studies, and there are a lot of jobs that we can take as is, but qualifications and the education opens doors. All right, thus we spend for those opportunities. All right, so we have clear, uh, 3 clear answer. We have emergency saving, we have uh, career progression, and we have investments. Either it's for money or funds or resources. Like, I'm guessing, Ishak, you took from the ants, like you need to save your food during during emergency. In this case, for the ants during winter. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I see what you did there. All right, very good job. All right, guys, that is all from me. I can see that the you guys are able to demonstrate the uh, moral value and its application to that is relatable to our real life scenario. So very good job, guys. And moving on to the next teacher, teaching Tuja.
Hello guys, can you hear me clearly? Okay, good students. Thank you for your very good job. Thank you for being very focused in during this class, completing today's session. So now we will go on quick revisit of what we have learned in today's lesson, yeah? So what we learned from today's lesson? Our lesson was based on the ant and the grasshopper, which teaches about the planning and the responsibility. So in the story, the ant worked throughout the summer to gather the food and prepare for the cold winter for the months. On the other hand, grasshopper spent his time singing and enjoying the present without thinking about the future. So what happened? When the winter arrived, the ant was ready and prepared to survive for everything. But we found out grasshopper himself struggling without any preparation. So the lesson is the fable teach us to be success and security, which often come from hard work, discipline. It encourages us to think ahead, make a decision for our responsibility to avoid procrastination. Okay, let's move on to the second slide. Okay, now let's connect the story with today's learning outcome. Okay, what we have learned today. By this lesson, you able to answer 3 comprehension questions about moral values which found in the fable. For example, how the ant successfully survived and what was the grasshopper's mistake, right? And secondly, you're able to develop a writing skill of you by crafting at least 3 grammatical correct sentences that reflect from story themes. And lastly, you should now able to connect the moral values of the story to your own life. You can think what are the 3 situations that help you to see the importance of the preparation and hard work, perhaps studying for an exam or saving for something important, right? This lesson outcome help for the real world application, for practical and also for meaningful. Okay, remember the story of the ant is just not about the insect. It's about the human behavior nowadays. It reminds how we can balance our life between hardworking and also being enjoying to the present of the life. Okay. Okay, now I would like to dive in. Do you have any question that you have pop up in your mind? Would you like to discuss further or clarify? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts here, students. Do you have any question? Okay, I guess students have very good understanding about the story, right? So I would like to end this class by giving you a homework. Okay, let's see what is the homework we have for you. Next slide, please. Sorry, I couldn't see the slide. Do you guys able to see the class? Okay. Your homework is for today is you have to write your conclusion. The conclusion, I want you to modify. What if grasshopper and the ant had worked together? Did they support one another? Okay, you give me the answer for the conclusion and send it up tomorrow. You guys okay? Students, are you okay with the homework? Right. Thank you, student. Thank you so much. Have a good day. I would like to end the lesson. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for the
Thank you, everyone.
exceptional effort and participation. We all appreciate all your inputs. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.